Fans can be pretty passionate when it comes to sports. Some of them support their favorite teams and players beyond the limit of what would be considered normal. But, it's a thin line between love and hate. So it's very common to find instances of fans not being happy with some of their players. Today we'll be taking a look at 10 NFL players their team's own fans have hated. Starting with number 10, Aaron Rodgers. We thought it best to start with an obvious example, just to warm up. Aaron Rodgers might currently be the best quarterback in the NFL, but it seems like Packer fans aren't easy to please. Rodgers has been a regular at this level for almost 2 decades, but playing for that long means that there'd be dips in your career as well. He's brought some fantastic moments and pleased Packer fans with a lot of success, but whenever he does let them down, they make sure he knows that they're not pleased with him at all. In fact, it has gone so far that some are calling for his head. They want him retired. Can you believe it? The man's won 2 MVPs in a row, but apparently that's not good enough. It's unfair, but then again, we're not talking about whether it's justified. It's not. Moving on to number 9, Jay Cutler. One of the most impressive players to play in the NFL, Jay Cutler had a rough start to his NFL career while playing for the Broncos. He would go on to make a name for himself when playing for the Bears, but his first stint in the NFL was super tough. Cutler posted career best figures for the Broncos, but the fans simply didn't take a liking to him. He struggled to convince them of his own abilities. But unlike Rodgers, this wasn't entirely unjustified. That's because Cutler's known for some comments that he made about legendary figures in the NFL, and most fans didn't like that kind of arrogance from their player. We'd say that this one was somewhat fair. On to number 8, Tim Tebow. Everyone and their moms know who Tim Tebow is, and mainly, it's not for a good reason. He's someone who'd probably get booed when he's getting a coffee, or when he's out Walmarting. In fact, he might be the only person to get hate from every fan base he's played for, and that's an achievement of some sort. There are many reasons behind the aversion targeted at Tebow, but the one that stands out is his outspoken nature when he's talking about religion. Don't get us wrong, he's detested for his plays too, at times, but it's mostly how much he's open to his faith that Tebow is simply not someone that fans adore. People just want him to play the game, not preach. Then at number 7, Antonio Brown. Tebow was unliked because of his commitment to his faith, but people absolutely despise Brown because of his personal antics and the issues he winds up getting into. He's played for many teams, and almost every single fan base remembers him in a negative light. A few poor personal decisions ended up being the biggest reason Brown is not exactly someone that fans are fond of. His team's fan bases turn on him because of several reasons, and it's almost a shame because he's actually a pretty decent player, but fans aren't content with just that. They want him to be a little more likable too. Honestly, we don't think Brown really cares. Coming in at number 6, Eli Manning. What? No way. Eli Manning is on this list? We know you're probably shocked to hear Manning's name on the most hated list. But if you're a Giants fan, first of all, shame on you. And secondly, you shouldn't be surprised because you caused this. As for the other casual fans who aren't familiar with the story, Manning isn't particularly liked by a portion. We can't say big or small because that's debatable. Of Giant fans, who often voice their concerns over the brilliant quarterback not taking into account just how much success he's responsible for. If someone's won the team 2 Super Bowls, he deserves a lot more respect, but it seems that the Giant fans are super spoiled. Who cares if he's boring? Manning won the team so much, and he's a lifelong Giant. But apparently the fans just can't get over how his play is simple, and his interviews are snoozeworthy. Up next at number 5, Cam Newton. Most people can't understand why Newton gets so much hate. That doesn't take away the fact that Newton's received bucket loads of hatred from many NFL fans, even the ones that had Newton playing for their team. We get how he's not as flashy as, say, Rodgers or Brady, but he gets the job done. Somehow, that isn't enough. Then there's the small matter of a controversy that he was involved in back in college. His father violated some NCAA rules, and fans simply haven't forgiven him, even though he was named the MVP in 2015. Fans of his own team often tear him a new one for not having enough skill, which is ironic to say the least. But what can we say? The crowd in the NFL is tough to please. Adding to this list, at number 4, Zach Wilson. The Jets fans, much like the Giant fans, are quite spoiled. A player like Zach Wilson, who has been playing at the highest level for them, but still gets some solid but undue hate from the fan base. What's that all about? We don't know why the Jets are so spoiled considering their team's been on a decline for the last couple of years, and the one person trying to put things right is Wilson. He definitely doesn't deserve the hatred he gets. It's gotten to the point where Wilson has revealed that he plans plans on deleting his social media. And that's a shame, because we can see how hard he works and always gives his best. But that's definitely not enough to put things right with the Jets fans. Maybe fans need to understand that this might be the reason other big names aren't too keen on signing for their side. Making it to the top 3, Colin Kaepernick. It's hardly a surprise to see him on this list. Some would say he should have been higher, but we're talking about getting the most hatred from your own team's fan base. For Kaepernick, unfortunately, the hatred comes from all the fan bases, and that's why he's only 3rd on this list. Some people definitely appreciate his outspoken views, but he also gets an incredible amount of hate. Not to mention, he's not exactly a world beater, and that means he didn't get any discounts when it came to the dislike. The 49ers fan base was torn on him and couldn't decide whether to hate him or like him. But the minute he decided to kneel, it got clear that the majority disliked him. His team's fan base turned on him immediately, and there was a lot more that came from all corners of the sporting world. After that, at number 2, Odell Beckham Jr. You would know by now that Giant fans aren't easy to please. It's a New York thing, probably, but Odell Beckham Jr. didn't make it easy either. If it was only about his performances, Beckham would have been an icon for the Giants, but it's his antics that made him look like a crybaby that invites all the scalding hate. He whines a lot, and the diehard fan base simply didn't like how it reflected on their team. Not to mention that Odell became the center of an infamous controversy when he posted that boat photo. Some superstitious fans believed that this was the turning point and brought misfortune for the team, and the little stitious, shout out Michael Scott fans, decided to join the bandwagon and pile the hate on him. Whether or not it's justified, you should ask the Giant fans, but it's safe to say that he didn't make it easy for himself. Finally, at number 1, Tom Brady. Are you shocked? Because we're not. Fans are fickle. Someone who's often regarded as the greatest quarterback of all time has gained an increasing amount of hate from his own team's fan base. We're just as surprised as you are. But what can we do? Huh? Credit to the Buccaneers, though. They aren't the ones we're thinking about when we say this. Instead, it's the Patriot fans we're talking about, who got annoyed when Brady didn't win them every single game. Also, the majority turned on him during the Deflategate scandal, and the Patriots made it known what they thought about Brady. He's an icon, and probably the biggest name to ever play in the NFL. But that cheated game did a lot of harm to his legacy. At the same time, though, he also received a lot of love for obvious reasons. So take this one with a pinch of salt. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these players, according to you, does not deserve to be on the list? And who did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.